Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. Have to admit, I'm just a tad confused. I mean, Joe Biden's been declared the winner. NBC News said it. CNN, I guess, declared it. I guess if the media says it, it's so.
Correct.
And so,
right,
it's a done deal. On the other hand, President has not yet conceded, and he has a whole bunch of litigation pending. Is there any chance that litigation is successful? I don't think so.
Really?
I've never seen it happen. Has it ever happened in the history of our nation where a U.S. election has been overturned? No. No, it has not. So I don't expect it to this time either. But I don't know. I don't know.
Rudy Giuliani is quite confident on the Twitters.
Is he really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got a good tweet. Can we put the tweet up from Rudy Giuliani about, look at that right there.
The Biden selection by the crooked media is based on unlawful votes in Michigan, or Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, Wisconsin, Nevada, et al. We will prove it all. All right.
There you go.
I hope so. Oh, do you believe that? 888-900-3393. I'd like to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean,
do you have confidence in that?
And it's not just Rudy's tweet there, but I guess the Trump team has identified 9,000 ballots in Nevada that from people who didn't live in the state. I mean, there's things like that.
But he's like 60 or 70,000 behind in Nevada.
All right, yeah. 132,000 ballots in Georgia, Fulton County, Georgia, from change of address. 132,000 change of address voter forms in Fulton County. A
lot of people moved.
Yeah. Biden's only up 10,000 there, I'd like to point out.
Okay.
So I'm trying to give you some hope because these are the angles that they're going to be taking over the course of the next several weeks as this stuff plays out. But will it get overturned? Probably not. And by the way, if it does, can you imagine the left that's been celebrating and having drunken orgies in the streets this weekend?
You can't approach it from that angle, but it would be.
Oh, no, you can't.
It would be ugly.
I'm just telling you, we're dealing with spoiled brats who think that they're owed everything in life. And
I know.
You try to tell them, I'm sorry, the Constitution says no. They're going to have even more reason to burn stuff down.
And they're dancing in the street over a guy who, jeez. I mean, did you watch the news during this election cycle? You're dancing in the street over this guy. Really? Joe Biden, who won this presidency supposedly, apparently, despite all of his negative baggage that he carries with him. I mean, what is the worst thing you can possibly say about someone right now? The worst insult in our culture, that they're a racist, right? Isn't that, I mean, if it's determined that you're a racist, I mean, you're lower than a murderer or someone who engages in bestiality or virtually anything else, it seems. Well, there is a ton of evidence that Joe Biden is a racist, and you're out dancing in the streets over him. All of this evidence, by the way, we've played on this very show.
In Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
No, I know you're not. I know you're not joking. You're an actual racist.
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean, nice-looking guy.
What is that?
I mean,
that's
a storybook, man.
Yeah, it's a storybook, man. You got this.
So if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
And by the way,
what
you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community.
Yeah, unlike the blacks.
With incredibly different attitudes about different things.
Incredibly different, yeah, but not the blacks. They think the same way, every single one of them. I mean, there is ample evidence to suggest this guy's a racist. You're out dancing in the streets over it. There's certainly more evidence we can point to about Biden than you can point to for Trump on the racist charge. One of the things the press says all the time about Donald Trump is that he's a liar. What about Biden on that issue too? On that score, he's lied plenty.
We, the people, we hold these truths, etc. Sounds corny, but it's real.
That's not the exact lie I was thinking of, but this, for
What law
instance.
school did you attend, and where did you place in that class? And the other question is, could you quickly, I think we all
I think I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect. I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. In the first year in law school, I decided I didn't want to be in law school and ended up in the bottom 2/3 of my class, and then decided I wanted to stay, went back to law school, and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I won the international moot court competition. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only need 123 credits, and I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
Good. Gosh. And then what happened with the fact check on that?
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he
okay,
does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
His memory's been failing him for a while.
His memory had failed him. He made up all of that crap. His memory didn't fail him.
Wow, almost 40 years worth of memory failures.
Yeah.
But that's the guy they're excited about.
That's the guy they're excited about.
Yeah, they're out in the streets partying for.
Yeah. This lying sack.
I never said I oppose fracking.
You said it on tape.
I did show the tape. Put it on your website.
I'll put it on.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in the Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated.
What about, say, stopping fracking and stopping new pipeline infrastructure?
Exactly. No new fracking. You got to transition away from it. Look, you're going to ban fracking all across America right now, right?
I would love to.
Yeah, I'd love to too. I'd love to make sure we can't use any oil or gas, period. The look in my eyes. I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel. We are going to end fossil fuel.
Going to end fossil fuel. He guarantees it. I mean, there's absolutely clear and frequent evidence that he has cognitive issues.
Barack and I think it's a right for people to have bad-kept care.
Bad-kept care. Yeah, it's a right. So
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure. I just spoke at Dartmouth on health care.
Or
at the medical school, or not, I guess I wasn't actually on the campus, but the people from the medical school were at the...
Right.
I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was in Guatemala, El Salvador, and to go in and say, in Honduras, and say, look,
Honduras,
well,
not
folks,
Guatemala
eliminate
or Salvador.
one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth, $1.4 trillion worth, out of $1.4 billion,
Jillion.
Excuse me, $1.4 billion.
Jillion.
It's hard to even say it so much. And by the way, it's cost a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years.
I mean, and it goes on and on and on. We've played all the evidence. I mean,
but
this is your guy that you're going to dance in the streets.
Maybe we forgot. He promised to cure cancer if he was president.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So maybe that's why they're excited. Well, either way, whatever they're excited for, obviously the virus is over now.
Yeah.
So the left that has been telling you things, that you're not allowed to do,
You can now do them?
Yeah, apparently.
Well,
right?
apparently, yeah. They got out in the street in Washington, D.C. Let's take a look at that. Matt Walsh talking about... Look at that crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that crowd. Jeez. Your kids had to go to school on their computers for a year. Your grandfather had to die, and alone, by the way. Your neighborhood bar had to go bankrupt because COVID. But all of that was perfectly fine.
Yeah, Matt Walsh with that tweet. Yeah, a lot of people making similar observations this weekend.
Caleb Hull making an observation. My best friend and mentor couldn't have a funeral with more than 20 people. But this stuff is okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Show the. Is there another one that there were? Yeah, there's some images here on Saturday for Joe Biden. It looks like the streets of New York City.
Yeah, I think.
The press.
There you go. See that?
There it is.
Yeah. I like Sabes84 made the point. What was it? When the left gets together, it's a celebration. When the right gets together, it's a super spreader event.
Very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly right. So I don't know. Is it really all over? I don't know. It seems like it is to me, but we'll see how these lawsuits progress.
Well, I mean, you have a few people standing up for Trump on the Republican side now. Ted Cruz was making the rounds this weekend, as was Kristi Noem. She had some very inspiring thoughts, if you'd like to see those.
Yeah, here she is on George Snuffleupagus.
Thanks for joining us this morning. COVID is rising in your state as well. Cases are up, hospitalizations are up, deaths are up. Are you prepared to work with President-elect Biden to get it under control?
Well, it is a regional increase that we're seeing. We are testing more. And frankly, George, I'm not going to take advice from Governor Cuomo. He has the second worst death rate per 100,000 people in this nation. He's at 173 deaths per 100,000 per capita. South Dakota's at 54. I appreciated that President Trump gave us the flexibility to do the right thing in our state, and we'll continue to do that. He let me do my job. But the other thing that I think is going on here, George, is that this is all premature. This is a premature conversation because we have not finished counting votes. There are states that have not been called. And back in 2000, Al Gore was given his day in court. We should give President Trump his day in court, let the process unfold. Because, George, we live in a republic. We are a government that gets its power from the consent of the governed. That is the people. They give their consent on Election Day. Election Day needs to be fair, honest, and transparent. And we need to be sure that we had an honest election before we decide who gets to be in the White House the next
Governor
4
Noem,
years.
do you have any evidence that it wasn't an honest election? You had a tweet earlier this week saying it was rigged. Do you have any evidence at all of widespread fraud? I've spoken with Republican secretaries of state in Georgia, in Arizona. I've spoken to Republican officials across the country. They have come up with zero evidence of widespread fraud.
And that is not true. That is absolutely not true. People have signed legal documents, affidavits stating that they saw illegal activities. And that is why we need to have this conversation in court. The New York Times itself said that there were clerical errors. If you look at what happened in Michigan,
fraud, Governor, that's
that
very
we had
different.
computer glitches that changed Republican votes to Democrat votes. You look in Pennsylvania, dead people voted in Pennsylvania. So, George, I don't know how widespread it is. I don't know if it'll change the outcome of the election. But why is everybody so scared just to have a fair election and find out? We gave Al Gore 37 days to run the process before we decided who was going to be president. Why would we not afford the 70.6 million Americans that voted for President Trump the same consideration?
That was good stuff right there.
Yeah, it was.
And somebody pointed out on Twitter, George kept saying, no widespread fraud. Okay, so you're acknowledging there is some fraud? It's just not widespread?
Got some more dead people voting from the People's Pundit. Mary Dudley, born in 1916, used to live in Kalamazoo, Michigan, but she died at age 70 in Sevier, Utah in July 1987. She still applied for and received an absentee ballot on the same day in Michigan on 9/29. Alamo Township recorded receiving her absentee ballot on October 20th. So she got the absentee ballot, and she did, in fact, vote in the election in Michigan, despite the fact that she died in 1987 in Utah.
She voted for
At
Trump,
least let the dead vote in their own state.
Yeah, you don't want to disenfranchise
right?
dead people.
That's right. Why isn't she voting in Utah if that's where she died?
I mean, that's a fair point.
I think so.
But I think when you're a ghost, you can pretty much go wherever you want to vote. You want to
really? You think
your vote's not going to have that big of an impact in Utah? Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Michigan, more likely to impact a national election.
Maybe that's what Mary was thinking from the dead.
Yeah.
She is what we refer to as a COA on her record in the voter file, short for change of address flag. She, along with at least 100,000 others, have such a flag. Oh. Okay. I mean, that's pretty wide. 100,000? Is that not widespread enough for you?
Yeah, apparently the Trump team is going to use obituaries as evidence in court for, I mean, think of the people that are having to go through those records right now.
Yeah, I don't envy them at all. That's going to be tedious work. All right, let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. This week, we're waking up to a nightmare scenario. The left is on the brink of controlling the future of this nation. Funded by corporations like Verizon, who took your hard-earned money and used it to put radicals in power. This is why it's so important that we stick together and support companies who share our values. I'm proud to partner with Patriot Mobile because they never sent a penny to the left, to Planned Parenthood, or any of those who seek to shred our Constitution. You can switch with confidence because they use the same network as the larger providers for much less. And they make switching really easy for you. You can keep your number, you can bring your own phone, or buy a new one. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Pat or call their U.S.-based customer service team, 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT. Veterans and first responders save even more. So make the switch today. Same service, you get a lower price, and the values you believe in. Get free activation plus a special gift when you use the offer code PAT. PatriotMobile.com/Pat. PatriotMobile.com/Pat.
Pat Gray.
All right. Also speaking out on voter fraud, Ted Cruz. Here's what Senator Cruz had to say.
We're hearing lots of allegations of a dead person voted. We heard a report from one county in Michigan where the election software mistakenly counted 6,000 votes that were cast for Donald Trump. It switched them to Joe Biden. Now, they apparently caught that. But that same software is used in 47 counties throughout Michigan. That needs to be examined to determine that there's not a problem counting the votes. And the legal process is how you resolve those questions. You know, one of the frustrating things, just as an American watching this, is you hear all these allegations of what's going on, and it's hard to know what the facts are. It's hard to know what the truth is. Well, we have a process for ascertaining the truth, which is that you can go and present evidence and test it in a court of law, and then those appeals will go up both through the state appellate system and the federal appellate system, and this case could very easily end up at the U.S. Supreme Court. You know, you mentioned Bush versus Gore, which I was part of representing then Governor George W. Bush. In the course of 36 days, we had multiple cases throughout the state of Florida. It went twice to the Florida Supreme Court. It went twice to the U.S. Supreme Court. It took 36 days to resolve, and we got an answer. I would expect a similar process to play out here, despite the media trying to tell everyone, give up, go home, we know who we want to win. That's not how it works. We need to follow the law, and that means allowing the legal process to play out.
Yep. Okay. I'm starting to be convinced that we shouldn't just accept this.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome.
Yeah.
Don't you have to fight?
I guess.
For your right to party?
I don't know.
The Constitution?
I don't know. At some point, we're going to have to... I mean, you know...
You don't know if you should fight?
At some point, the election's going to be over.
Hold on a second.
We're going to have to accept the fact that Joe Biden won this thing.
He won this thing, or he's being gifted this thing? Which is it you're saying?
I don't know that you can make up about 5 million votes. I don't know that there's that kind of, and that's why they keep using the word widespread. Is it widespread enough to make up for 5 million votes?
Well, that's why we have to go to court to find out, right?
Yeah, I guess.
There's a show I listen to. It's called Pat Gray Unleashed. You should check it out. And for months, nay, years, the host of the program said repeatedly, we cannot let the Democrats win this election.
Well, but if they win it, they win it. You know, I mean, at some point you have to. It's an American election, and you have to accept it.
If I would,
Right?
I would personally accept it if I 100% believed it was legit. Absolutely. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I was on the losing side. Boy, my fellow Americans are dumb. See 2008, right?
Yes.
That's not an endorsement for John McCain, by the way. When I'm convinced that this was legitimate, then I'll agree with you. And I'll be like, okay, well, there we go. I guess we lost. I'm not personally convinced of that yet, whether that's the right attitude to have. There is so much circumstantial evidence right now that needs to see its day in court before I'm going to be convinced that we're all right, good to go. What was the? Do we have the chart of the? Did I send this in? The 90-year-olds in Pennsylvania. Boy, they turned out in record number. Is that a? I don't even know if I sent that in.
Oh, yeah, you did. There it is.
There it is. Okay, so look at that. Andy Swan. Joe Biden was so inspiring that all the 90-plus-year-olds in Pennsylvania registered to vote this year, setting a huge record. Look at that age bracket compared to other ones. Yeah.
Okay, that's a little fishy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's some,
so is that something you think might need to go to court?
Yeah, you need to look into it.
Look into
I don't
that
know
one?
if it has to go to court, but you should look into it.
Okay. Should we look into Gwinnett County, Georgia?
No.
Where? We should not?
No, don't look into Gwinnett County, Georgia.
Where Hillary
what was
Clinton,
the deal there?
Well, she had 166,000 votes in 2016. Joe Biden had over 240,000, roughly 80,000 vote increase. Yeah, because they're so much more excited for Joe Biden.
Well, you know they are.
Oh, look. Oh, check this out. A glitch in software. Election officials estimate that roughly 80,000 absentee ballots were impacted by this glitch, yet decided to push the impacted votes through, knowing some of the votes would likely change. That's Dominion voting systems, which is at the root of so many of these issues across the country, not only in Georgia in this case, but it's popped up in Michigan. I think there's 24 states that use Dominion voting services.
So he's up to 80,000. He's up 80,000 votes from where Clinton was.
Correct.
And it was 80,000 that
With
were
the
in
glitch.
question.
Yes. Also in Georgia,
that's a coincidence.
Election or the night before the election, there was a program that was uploaded from Dominion in 2 counties. They said this was highly unusual, and it screwed up our ability to tabulate the votes on Election Day because our software was not functioning at that point. So there is so much out there that must be explored before I'm willing to go, it's America, it's time to transfer the power. He won. Because when I'm convinced of that, then I'll be right there with you. Until then, you have to go to court for this. Absolutely.
I suppose. I just don't see it being successful, but
that's fine.
I mean, go to court.
That's fine. And I think also earlier on, we were talking about how the left is going to react if you take this toy away from them, the presidency, that they think that they are somehow owed just by merely existing. That's not something to base a decision on either, as we just discussed 20 minutes ago. I don't care how they react. They're going to be petulant children regardless of how things happen. So anyway, let's explore the court. And oh, by the way, Georgia Senate races, 2 of them. My goodness, there should be armed guards at every ballot for these Senate races January 5th, because that
everything rides on that. Everything rides on those 2. It looks like. I mean, we have to win those races. We have to keep the Senate. The Senate is the only firewall to all of this extremism going right through. The tax increases, the climate change garbage, the Medicare for all, Medicaid for all. I mean, this is going to be, it's so critical that Republicans hang on to the Senate to act as a firewall here. Yeah. That's if there are legal challenges.
Well, don't
go through.
You want some more? I mean, you got a witness in Nevada who says that he's witnessed multiple ballots being counted you're supposed to validate the signatures first.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, send it through. I'm just telling you, there's going to be so many of these court challenges going on at the same time that it's going to be like NFL Sunday Ticket. You're going to have, instead of 8 boxes of 8 different games going on, you're going to have 8 courtrooms across America happening over the next several weeks at the same time. Do I think it's going to be overturned? No, I don't. But do you have to fight? Absolutely, you have to. If you have principle and you love the Constitution and our form of government, times like this is why that exists as a backstop.
Yeah, and the Trump legal team wants to hear from anybody who thinks that they witnessed voter fraud. So there's an actual form that you can fill out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do we have a link to this?
We
that
should
can send out?
Put that up at Pat Unleashed.
Just in case anybody has any evidence.
Yeah, there it is.
Share.
There it is. Yeah,
right there.
How about the ballots found in the dumpster in Pennsylvania? I mean, I'm telling you, man.
How many were there?
I forget how many there were, but they were these spoiled ballots that were set aside so that you can compare later. You're supposed to hang on to those for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
They were hung on to for 2 minutes. I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff out there that still needs to be explored.
Yeah, there's this video from Philadelphia in the Philly suburbs. Ballots are being counted in a basement.
Yeah, in the cafeteria.
Under absolutely no supervision.
Hi. Hey, so you with the elections? You're the Bureau of Elections, right?
Well,
look at this lady.
I mean, I'm just a volunteer.
We're just wondering what. Okay, I understand you're a volunteer and you're just doing your job. What's all these? Are these mail-in ballots or what's these coming in?
What are these? These are my on tape here?
What's that?
Am I on tape?
Yes, you're on tape.
Yeah, because we're wondering why are ballots being handled down here and not up there with the elections?
Yeah. It's good.
So we're curious about that.
She has nothing.
Okay, yeah, the gentleman who's in charge of this, I think, should be right back down.
What's his name?
Gosh, what is his name? Do you know his name? Are you volunteer or employee?
I'm a poll watcher. Okay.
Well,
I'm a poll.
supervisor will be back here.
So what's his name?
I don't know.
Okay. And you're a volunteer?
Nobody knows.
What kind of volunteer are you? With the elections?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Wow.
Boy, they sure were acting suspicious, weren't they?
Looked sketchy, didn't it?
She goes,
I'm
what are these? These are
potted plants. I'm watering potted plants in the basement here. Those look like ballots. No, they're potted plants.
She might have an answer for you. The guy,
the guy's coming. He can tell you what these are. Wow. Yeah, that looked bad. That looks bad. All right, well, let's see what happens.
I love that. What are these? You know when they ask a question back to you?
Yeah, there's an issue there.
It's like a kid. It's like, did you clean your room? Did I clean my room?
That sounds like the question I just asked.
Sounds like you're stalling for a better answer here. What's the deal?
Weird. Also, Abigail Spanberger, during a big conference call with Democrats, they were talking about the election, talking about what needs to be done now. And listen to some of the warnings she gives to the Democrats on this conference call.
I think that we need to be pretty clear about the fact that Tuesday, from a congressional standpoint, it was a failure. It was not a success.
Right.
Your colleagues come and go. This isn't an issue of me being a first-term member and emotionally concerned about the fact that colleagues have left. This is me recognizing that we lost members from Hillary's district. This is about me recognizing that we lost members who shouldn't have lost. I would request that at some point in the future as a caucus, we spend time watching the attack ads, the millions upon millions of dollars that were spent shellacking so many of us across our districts. That we look at the things that they say about us, that they say about the Democrats, that they say about the way we talk to people and the way we talk about things. Because whether we think it's just an attack ad and that's what it does, et cetera, it doesn't matter because it works.
We'll listen to the rest of what she had to say because she had some interesting things, some interesting advice for Democrats. And by the way, and she is a Democrat, obviously, but she's a moderate Democrat. If such a thing exists anymore, that would be her. So we'll share what else she told these Democrats coming up in just a minute. Some tweets here. This one from Pathead Tobin for Pope. President Biden won't be able to hide his cognitive decline from his cabinet of the Joint Chiefs. And you can't run a country from your basement. I don't know. Woodrow Wilson kind of did.
Okay.
From his little hospital bed in the basement of the White House or wherever they hid him.
By the way, December 14th is the day that needs to be on everyone's calendars. Okay, that's the day that the Electoral College will vote and make this official.
Right.
Between now and December 14th, nothing has been won, nothing has been decided, and no results in any state have been certified.
And by the way, it's up to the state legislators to select the electors. And there are a lot of Republicans who control legislators around this country. The Republican Party controls many, if not most, of the legislatures in this country.
And before you say, well, this sounds like 2016 Hillary supporters, oh, let's get some faithless electors in there to change their votes. It's a little different than that because there are so many widespread claims of fraud that must be investigated over the course of the next month.
See, we got this from the Pickled Squirrel. Everyone have their supply of duct tape for this week? Exploding heads leave such a mess.
Yeah.
Good point. Comrade Snoobage. So the media has declared Biden the winner. Will they now demand an answer to court packing or his cure for cancer?
Oh, now we get those. Yeah, now we.
Yeah, I want an answer to the court packing situation. And there again is another reason the Senate is so critical for Republicans to maintain control of the Senate because they can just not confirm all of his appointees. Wouldn't that be interesting? That'd be quite a fight to set up between the president, if Biden is in fact eventually the president, against the Republican-led Senate and trying to get Supreme Court justices passed.
So are we convinced, though, that the Republicans do control the Senate if it's 51-49? I mean, what camp do we put Romney in?
I mean, he better vote with the Republicans at that point.
And now you got Susan Collins 6 years away from having to worry about re-election.
Yeah, it's true.
Dangerous ground.
Saved by Grace tweets, the issue is bigger than this election. The issue is whether we can ever trust elections in this country again.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think, even if these end up being legit with all of the craziness going on and how long it is taking us to figure out votes. I mean, I don't think I can look my kids in the eye with a straight face and say, yeah, you know what? Our system of government and the way we choose our leaders so much better than the way the rest of the world does. Seriously, boy, good luck raising kids into this world.
Ghost of COVID, Bullet 23. The Democrats just successfully stole an election in multiple battleground states. Do we suddenly think they aren't going to triple down for control of the Senate?
I'm telling you, man. Georgia, get ready.
Crazy times. Tweets. We may not win, but we need to expose the fraud. And from Jeremy Phillips, I agree. Even if we don't win the court battles, bringing the scrutiny and exposing the fact that there is fraud has been necessary for years. Dems have denied it at every turn, yet we are seeing it exposed nonstop. Well, they deny it except when they lose. Then it's like the Russians did it.
I know. Somebody made that point on Twitter as well. Really? The party that for 4 years says that we had...
The Russians stole the election?
Yeah. And now they want us to believe that no.
Nothing wrong happened.
Elections are absolutely legit in this country.
Yeah, and from Pathead Justin Souls, didn't Hillary say to Biden, do not concede under any circumstance? Yes, she did. Yes. And that's a great point. That's a great point. And now they're all pissed off that Trump hasn't conceded yet. They're all hacked off. Well, what if this had been if the shoe was on the other foot? Biden certainly wouldn't have conceded either. He was told by everybody not to.
Yeah. And you couple that with that sound clip of Nancy Pelosi saying, no matter what the vote says, after the election, Joe's going to win. It feels like, boy, they knew something was up. Hillary's like, don't, under no circumstances concede. It may take a while for us to count all these absentee ballots.
And CNN's going crazy. CNN's banners today claiming that Trump is peddling false fraud claims Well, you don't know that they're false at this point. You don't know they're false. What do you mean he's peddling false fraud claims? Have you proven that? They are just such an arm of the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
They are. It is not a news organization of any kind.
Really puts into perspective why they've been fighting tooth and nail for so many years to prevent voter ID when you go to vote.
Sure does. Yeah. Because it's so much tougher to commit voter fraud if you make somebody prove who they are. And then you can have them put their signature on the line. You can compare the photo to the face. It's pretty tough that way. And that's why they make such a big deal out of it. Like, oh, you're suppressing the vote. No, we're suppressing the illegal vote. Yeah, which we should be. We should be suppressing the illegal vote.
Yeah.
What about minorities? Yeah, they've all got ID. I don't know if you are aware of that, but almost all of them have ID.
Who was the first Democrat in a darkened, smoky room or, I don't know, a vegan buffet where they had their big meetings and said, you know what we need to do? The pandemic, let's tell everyone to vote from home. And I'm telling you.
It's a good idea.
That is all the difference.
And it's why the president fought it so hard. Mm-hmm. It's why President Trump did not want this mail-in vote situation. Because now here we are with all the claims of finding big bundles of blocks of votes and whether or not you should count those that come in after the 3rd. Of course not. If they come in after the election, I'm sorry. They came in after the election. We're not counting them. 888-900-3393. I remember back in the day when it used to be the military voting from overseas all the time. And so you'd get hundreds of thousands of votes and they'd say, well, we got to wait for the military count. What happened to that? You never hear that anymore, that the military count is coming in. And that's the remaining block. Because wouldn't that be great if the remaining block of votes was coming in from the military? That would be a Trump win. But for some reason, that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, Anthony Osh just tweeted out, we don't even know who won the Iowa Democratic primary, yet we're to accept these election results. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, they never really did come up with a winner, did they?
Yeah.
I guess it was Buttigieg.
I don't.
Sort of.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. What was it? Somebody on the Blaze was saying how the pollsters totally got the Cuban American vote in Florida wrong on Trump. What was that we heard? They said that he would lose by 15. The Trump would lose by 15. He ended up winning it by 40.
Yeah, it was only a 55-point swing. The polls were only wrong by 55
Is that
points.
a big swing? I'm not good with math.
I'm really not either when it comes to election math, so I'm not sure. But 55 points seems like it's more than half of 100, so I'm going to say, yeah, it's quite large.
And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but along the border in Democratic strongholds, the Hispanic vote really turned out for Trump. You know, and I guess that's hard to massage your base down there, Democrats, when you've got all of your resources in battleground states filling out absentee ballots. Anyway, but he did so well with the Hispanic vote.
Really well.
That is being completely
discounted. They think it's
going
to be in the upper 30s, the upper 30 percentile.
He increased
range.
among the black votes, especially with black men, but yet we're to believe that
he lost
to the most popular vote getter in American presidential history. Oh, get on that Biden train like everybody else. Stop it. I don't buy it.
888-900-3393. All right, we were playing the Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger. She was on a conference call with a bunch of other Democrats, and they were going over the election results. And obviously, the election didn't go the way they thought it, other than maybe for president. They lost a bunch of seats in the House, and they didn't get what they thought they were going to get, which was to flip the Senate. And so she's saying, here's some things that we need to do or not do next time.
The number one concern and things that people brought to me in my that I barely rewon was defunding the police. And I've heard from colleagues who have said, oh, it's the language of the streets. We should respect that. We're in Congress. We are professionals. We are supposed to talk about things in the way where we mean what we're talking about. If we don't mean we should defund the police, we shouldn't say that. And so when there are millions upon millions of our members, and and people in our communities are concerned, we need to recognize that that is on us. Trump is on the ballot. Trump was always going to be a challenge to overcome being on the ballot with him. But he's not going to go away after this election, even when Joe Biden wins. And we need to get back to the basics that brought us across the finish line in 2018, because he was there at that time as well. And for the people who flipped districts that he had won, and certainly for those who won in Hillary's districts, we did it by being hyper-local ever again. If we want to talk about funding social services and ensuring good engagement in community policing, let's talk about what we are for. And we need to not ever use the word socialist or socialism ever again.
How about that? There's at least one Democrat who understands that this is not a socialist-loving country. Well, except among the, 18 to 30-year-olds. Perhaps with that exception, it's not a socialist-loving country.
Yeah, there's been some pushback already in Congress from more moderate Democrats saying people like AOC need to back off. I know we're going to get into that later about how the radical left is. They want retribution for anyone that supported Donald Trump. It's ugly.
Scary. Yeah, it is. All right, let me tell you about Scoremaster. Every time I share the stories about Scoremaster, it pretty much crashes the Scoremaster website. But the average person has 97 points that they can quickly add to their credit score, within the first few months. But they don't have any idea how to get them. That's where Scoremaster comes in. They're credit scientists discovered an algorithm that super boosts your credit scores, not just a few points, but maybe by as much as 97 points. And they do it fast. Imagine 97 points on top of your credit score if you're refinancing a home or buying a car, applying for credit of any kind. If you have okay credit and you're buying a car, if you do Scoremaster first and boost your score the average 61 points in 20 days or less, 20 days or less to go 61 points, you could save $9,000 on your car loan. Could be $100,000 over the life of your home loan. Scoremaster, it puts you in control of your finances. They just let you know when you should pay your bill, how much to add, maybe pay a little bit extra, and what that will do for your credit score. And they'll show you how many plus points you can add to your credit score. Go to scoremaster.com/Pat. Scoremaster.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Let's see. According to the Washington Post, Joe Biden is planning an immediate flurry of executive orders to reverse Trump policies. Isn't that fun?
Does he know this?
Biden or Trump? I don't think Biden knows it. No.
Yeah.
He's already forgotten that he said this.
All right, hold the pen, Joe.
Yeah. But Kamala is going to remind him around that time. Yeah.
Is Kamala the president?
Pretty much.
Because
yes.
Siri thinks so.
Does she?
Yeah. You'll love this. Can we play the video of people recording their interactions with Siri last night?
Hey Siri, how old is the president?
Kamala Harris was born 56 years ago on Tuesday, October 20th, 1964.
What? Wait, what?
Well then.
Hey Siri.
Okay, we
have
got
they
it.
fixed
How
that?
old is the president?
Yes, they've fixed it.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that. Dang it. Every time I go to duplicate it, they've already fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Dang it.
So, I mean, you could...
Now does it talk about Trump?
Yeah, I think so. I don't have an iPhone. But...
Hey, Siri, how old is the president?
Donald Trump is
70
yeah. See.
Okay.
We can never catch him. Somebody else always does.
Yeah, plenty of people caught them. I don't know how that even remotely happens.
That's so weird.
Is that someone
really
at
weird.
Apple that's
messing
like,
around?
you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I've already turned in my 2 weeks. I'm going to do this before I leave.
And we all know Kamala's going to be president in 6 months. So let's just go ahead and update the record now with Siri. Anyway, he apparently plans to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord.
Day one.
Immediately. Like day one through executive order.
Good luck having a business in America.
Well, one of the things that, one of the reasons Trump got us out of the accord was because it was so restrictive on American businesses.
Yeah, nobody else. China's not even a part of it.
They're not abiding by it at all. In fact, nobody is. They've already admitted that France isn't doing this. England's not doing. Nobody's doing this, and certainly China isn't even expected to.
Man, we are dumb.
It's asinine. And another thing they've already admitted: the Paris Climate Accord does nothing for the climate. It's all symbolic. And let me see. We had the Gore thing,
where he admits,
where he absolutely admits that it's basically symbolic.
Even if all 195 nations, not 194, met their targets, it still wouldn't solve the problem.
Okay, even if every country that is signed on to this dumbass agreement does what they're supposed to, it doesn't do anything for the climate.
That is correct.
That is correct. Yes, that is correct. However,
sends a very powerful signal to business and industry and
that you're going to go out of
society,
business. That's what it does.
Countries around the world.
It sends a very powerful signal. It sends a very powerful signal. I don't want to send very powerful signals. I want our businesses to thrive.
You don't want government by signal sending?
No, I don't. Send up a smoke signal, but get us out of the stupid Paris Accord. Oh, man. So he'll reverse President Trump's withdrawal from the World Health Organization. He will repeal the ban on almost all travel from some Muslim-majority countries, and he will reinstate the program allowing dreamers who were brought into the United States illegally as children to remain in the country indefinitely, forever, and ever and ever. Yay!
Amen.
What a wonderful list of executive orders to look forward to. It's great.
Fun.
Fun. That's the word. All right, much more coming up. CNN, who has been downplaying vaccines and when they should be ready and how effective they'll be for this entire pandemic. Oh, yeah, you can't count on the vaccine. It's not going to be developed anytime soon. Plus, it's not going to be that effective. Don't worry about it. You're going to have to still do the masks. We're going to have to do the masks well into 2023, 2024. I don't know, 25, something like that, 30. Now, they're doing a story about Pfizer saying their vaccine's going to be 90% effective.
Yeah, 90%.
All of a sudden, surprise! It's better now. Huh.
Yeah.
There's some hope.
Pfizer bringing us hope this morning.
How about that? Thank you, Pfizer and CNN, for doing the Pfizer story.
By the way, just a memo to the possible next president of the United States, Joe Biden. Good luck with your national mandates of any kind.
Also, good luck with coming and trying to take our guns, as there seems to be some promises going around that that's going to happen too.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I tweeted out yesterday the boating accident you and Thomas Massey had. You guys were out on your boat and
flipped over.
Doggone it.
Dang, that. I mean, you just got to be careful on balancing, the weight distribution.
I didn't know you and Congressman Massey hung out together.
Every once in a while.
Is that right?
Yeah, just do a little fishing.
You never invite me to come along?
Deep sea fishing. Well, there was no road from your house to the deep sea fishing pier. So
is the thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sorry about your guns.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your condolences on that. Let's see. We got a tweet here from Kyle Becker. Kyle Becker tweets, swing state voting irregularities. Biden outperforms senators in swing states, underperforms in Virginia, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island. Biden underperforms Hillary Obama in cities except in Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Wisconsin.
Swing states?
And he happened to win all those states, too.
Squeakers.
Biden mail-in dumps with 100% margins.
I mean, yeah, what are the odds? But yet they happen. This crazy year rolls on. 100% of the late votes go to one candidate.
And the GOP lost 0 House races.
Yeah, how many people were mad at Trump and his party that decided to vote against him but vote for their friendly neighborhood congressman?
A lot. Quite a few, actually. That happened a lot.
Sniff, sniff.
Huh. I mean, there's just some interesting things going on. That's all. Scruffy Nerf Herder tweets this to us. This weekend, I noticed CNN and MSNBC got rid of their COVID case and death count banners.
Look right there. Look right there.
Oh, my gosh.
Right there on the screen. It's gone. They've got more room for their annoying, ugly faces.
Right. Always taking up the right third of the screen.
Not today.
Were the COVID counts. And they are surprisingly gone.
And this is what we did not. I don't want to say we joked.
Oh my gosh.
4 or 5 months ago, we said, the day after, if Biden wins, it's going to be the end of the virus and stuff. Well, what do we got? We got people partying in the streets. The same people that will scream in your face at Walmart for not wearing a mask are out there dancing butt to butt in the street. We've got the count off of the screen and CNN and MSNBC.
That's amazing.
Here comes the vaccine.
Yeah.
Party time.
The vaccine, I don't know if you heard.
What's
going to
that?
be 90% effective, at
Wow.
least 90% effective.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be 0% effective.
Huh. Well, when they tie you down and jam the needle in your arm, it'll be 100% for you. It'll be 90 to 100% effective for you.
You know what? Try.
All right. Skip to Zip tweets, the journey to get a valid ID was long and arduous.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So we should not ask people to present their ID when they go to vote.
I think we're about to find out how hard it is. I had to prove I'm an American, prove that I live where I say I live, have a face, and pay, get this, only the rich could afford it, $10.
$10?
$10.
Wow. So $10 to...
Yeah. Only the wealthiest 99.9% of Americans could afford that.
Wait.
Then the worst. I had to wait 10 minutes. 10! Can you believe it? Okay. It's a wonder I didn't die.
Wait,
sure is. Going through all that.
I'm going to ask you, though.
Wow.
I'm kind of hung up with the $10. What's he have to pay the $10 for again?
To get an ID.
Oh, okay.
A valid ID.
Okay, my bad. All right, well, I thought it was like
10.
a poll tax or something there.
No. Oh, jeez,
okay.
poll tax.
I didn't know what the $10
Welcome
was
to
for.
1936.
Okay, well.
All right, Coffee Lover M tweets, I think someone needs to give Pat a scrumptious cookie to cheer him up.
Oh, would that cheer you up right now?
Yes, it would, actually. Yeah, it would. And if you'd like to be cheered up in a similar manner, you can go to scrumptiouscookie.com and order some.
Make your holiday bright.
Yeah. Speaking of holiday, my wife has invented a new cookie, an eggnog cookie for the holidays. Oh, my. If you like eggnog, this is just, it's.
Is it called the Eggnog Delight? What's it called?
I don't know. I think it's called the eggnog cookie. Well, we don't actually have it on the website yet,
See,
so I don't know.
this.
I don't know that we've even named it yet.
Got to be careful.
But yeah,
because now people are going to go and
look for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might not be there yet. I mean, it's not. It's only November 9th.
Have
Give us
you
a minute.
seen the news?
I have. Yes.
People want the holidays.
We could use an eggnog cookie. It's for sure. All right, let's go to Connie in Florida. Connie, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hey, Pat. How you doing, Keith? I was wondering if you happen to know if when the lawsuit, if they bring lawsuits and they actually get taken up by the courts for the ballots, is it just the top of the ticket or the person that's bringing the lawsuit that they count on the ballot? If the judge says, yeah, we got to go back and recount, or does it count down ballot as well?
No, I think they'll just count the presidential candidates.
Because I was pretty sure that on the, like on the automatic recounts that they have to do for, because it's too close, that they would do the entire ballot. But I didn't know, because that could change the Senate.
Yes, it could.
Do you see
that
what
is
I'm saying
true
in Georgia?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it was the top of the ticket, but I'll need to look into that. I'm not absolutely positive on that. Appreciate it. Good question, Connie. We'll look into that.
I think as far as the lawsuits go, I think that's going to be
Just
top
the
of
president.
ticket.
I think so,
but
too.
Some
Yeah.
of these, like she said, some of these races that were so close, like I know the automatic recount was triggered in Georgia, so they would, because they are going to do a recount, that would probably include the Senate as well, which was also very tight.
Very. In fact, too tight. We could use a little leeway there. We could use at least a 52-47 split. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know that we're going to get that.
No.
In fact, probably not.
No.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Math doesn't really work. It's 48-48 now, right?
Yeah, but you got, Sullivan's going to win in
map here.
Alaska, and you got Tillis is going to win in North Carolina.
Hey, you can't. Alaska's way. Don't be trying to call Alaska. That is way too close to call, Keith Malinack. There's only 50%. We've been at 50% for a week now. Tomorrow it'll be a week that we've been at 50% in Alaska. Why can't you count the rest of the ballots?
Well,
what is going on?
I know, that's my bad.
And here's the whisker thin lead that Trump has in Alaska. You ready for this?
Whisker thin.
Whisker thin. 62.1 to 33.5. You can't call that for Trump.
Right. So
it is way too contested.
Okay, so yeah, Sullivan's only up 31 in Alaska, so you're right.
Yeah, you don't want to be counting that.
But let's just say Alaska and North Carolina end up going for the Republicans. All right, then it would sit at 50-48.
Okay.
So if you're the Democrats, do you try your hand at fraud? Really going after the one seat in Georgia or both of them? Like, do you get, because,
all they need is one. Well, no, they need two. Yeah, because if we win one more, that's 51-49.
Right, because if you lose both of them, Republicans, then it's 50-50, and in theory,
and Kamala will decide.
Tiebreaker there.
Yeah.
So do you concentrate all of your fraud efforts on one seat in Georgia, or do you try to get both of them?
They're greedy enough. They'll try to get them both.
I see.
All right. Let's see what else we've got here from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh my
tweeted
goodness,
out.
the far left this weekend, they are angry.
They're crazy.
They want vengeance.
And what are you angry about? You apparently won the election, supposedly. And you just, is it because you didn't get the Senate as well? You greedy bastard.
No, it's just because they hate anyone that doesn't think like them.
Listen
That's
to this
the
now, though.
motivation.
Is anyone archiving these Trump sycophants for when they try to downplay or deny their complicity in the future? I foresee a decent probability of many deleted tweets, writings, photos in the future. So she wants us to take responsibility for everything. I'm perfectly fine with that. I will take responsibility for everything I've said in the last 4 years. Perfectly fine with that. Then she tweets out, LOL, at the party of personal responsibility, being upset at the idea of being responsible for their behavior over the last 4 years. I don't have any problem being responsible for my behavior.
And I think what that's in a reference to is not only her tweets, but also something called the Trump Accountability Project, where they are documenting people that
do it.
worked on his staff or helped get him elected.
Unbelievable. And what are you going to do? You're going to hold them accountable. You're going to string them up? What do you put them in
you're
jail?
It's going to start off. You're going to keep them from finding gainful employment.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
Yeah, exactly. How it starts. And so
this is such dangerous territory.
Yeah.
Really, you're going to try to keep all of those people out of a job because they supported Trump? Wow. I thought we were anti-fascist here.
Yeah, the left
AOC?
is saying that we need to unite now behind Joe Biden.
Wow.
However, they are showing no compunction to actually allow us to do that.
It's just unbelievable. Now we've got Jennifer Rubin saying some very special things about how the GOP should be treated.
Okay.
The entertainment organization that has a news outlet would hire these people. I also want to echo something that my friend EJ said. It's not only that Trump has to lose, but that all his enablers have to lose. We have to collectively, in essence, burn down the Republican Party. We have to level them, because if there are survivors, if there are people who weather this storm, they will do it again. They will take this as confirmation that, hey, it just pays to ride the waves. Look at me, I've made it through. And so up and down the ticket federal, state, local offices. The country has to repudiate this. This has become a dysfunctional anti-government party. That is not what the country wants and what it needs.
Wow. Jeez.
If there are survivors.
Jeez. They need to be leveled. All right.
If they weather the storm, they will think they can get away with this again.
Thank you, Ava Braun. Appreciate your input there. That's great. Wow. Then we also have Nancy Pelosi on Trump being a domestic terrorist.
Sadly, instead of crushing the virus, it appears that the Trump administration will use its final moments in office as a desperate last step to destroy every possible protection for American health and well-being. So many people have said to me, and perhaps some of you along the way, what damage do you think that Trump will do between losing the election and the inauguration of Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't phrase it quite that way, but that's how I heard it. And we knew that he would be up to mischief, separate and apart from trying to destroy the credibility of our elections, which we criticize other nations for doing, and now with all enemies, foreign and domestic, making assault on our elections. Well, we have one domestic.
Wow. She's great. These people are completely out of their minds.
Yeah, I'm not so
Unhinged.
convinced she's going to end up retaining her speakership either.
I hope not.
She's got some rumblings in her own party to worry about right now.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But will somebody from the squad take her place? Who knows? They're extreme enough to do just about anything. Let me tell you about how you can get prepared for just about anything. Go to My Patriot Supply. If there's one thing you've seen about everything that's happened in the last several years, but especially this year, I think one thing that should be certain in your mind is that you need to be prepared for any eventuality. Look at the COVID thing. Just that wiped out the store shelves. There could be something, along those lines that happens again. We could get another spike, and it might happen again where there's less food in the grocery stores. Something happens with the supply chain. That could be a storm, natural catastrophe, who knows, or political unrest, civic unrest. You need to be prepared for whatever happens. And where did I get prepared? My Patriot Supply. And you can too. I strongly recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the go-to experts for emergency preparedness. Their mission is your survival. At My Patriot Supply, right now, you can get a full 4-week supply of their nutritious meals. These supply about 2,000 calories a day to be shipped fast and discreetly to your door, which is exactly what you need for when food starts to disappear again from the grocery stores. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and get ready now. That's MyPatriotSupply.com. Oh, where'd you get the little Trump doll thing?
There was a Trump and Hillary pin set, ironically, in one of the rooms they cleared out for the construction. So it's mine now. And so
you borrowed it permanently?
Borrowed it permanently. And so you see a little boxing Trump, and this may come in handy as the court cases continue.
Yeah. All right.
You wanna mess with it?
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. Yeah, a little.
Oh, and it's an actual pen.
Yeah.
Isn't that
that's
really
buttons
handy?
on the back there? There you go. Oh, he's got a mean left hook.
All right.
It's cathartic, right?
Yes. Sounded like the 3,000-year-old mummy sounded. All right, let's see. We got some tweets. Oh, Allie Beth Stuckey tweeted out, I love seeing people who voted for taxpayer-funded abortion talk about restoring morality and decency. Good times.
When you say it like that.
Yeah, it makes it sound like they're not maybe moral and decent, but... okay. James Woods tweeted over the weekend, and just like that, the rioting and looting has ceased overnight, and now half the country that pummeled America like a battered wife is telling her to put on sunglasses, hide her black eye, be a good girl, and come together as one. Her answer? Go bleep yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's James Woods on fire on the Twitter.
Pissed,
yeah.
as are many of us. Estimated Prophet tweets, Alaska can only count votes during their 20 minutes of daylight each day.
That must be what it is.
Yeah, how do you expect them to count when they can't see them? When they can't see the votes?
Sure.
So, yeah.
It's that time of year, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Getting darker up there for longer periods of time. Until what? December 21st, when there'll be no light during the course of the day.
Oh, my goodness. Why don't you just ship your ballots to another state? I mean, that's what
good idea.
Some have
or
done.
Canada. It's right next door there. Just send them over to Canada. Let them count them. Don't you trust the Canadians? I mean, they've got a couple of socialists in
I
office.
think they legitimately hired a socialist to run their country.
I think they did. Keystone Pig tweets, what a good comrade Representative AOC is, wanting to hold political opposition accountable for the crime of disagreeing. Yeah?
That's a crime now.
Yeah. Sheila's AirPods tweets, those are some pretty big words for AOC. Let's take a look at her tweet again.
Oh, okay.
See what it was that she
what did the esteemed representative have to say?
Is anyone archiving these Trump sycophants for when they try to downplay or deny their complicity in the future? I foresee decent probability of many deleted tweets, writings, photos in the future.
Yeah, you're right. That's not from her.
Then she said, LOL, at the party of personal responsibility, in quotations, being upset at the idea of being responsible for their behavior over the last 4 years.
No, she copied and pasted those from some text she got from a friend.
Did she?
I don't know. She's not, the word sycophant, she doesn't know what that is.
Like, whatever, and like, or whatever, like, just like.
There she is. See?
Remember when she didn't know what a disposal was in the sink?
A garbage disposal. Oh, what's this doing?
What is this new thing? Whoa, this newfangled thing that you choose up stuff that you put in it. Who thought of that? Only been around since the 50s. Like 54 or 52 or something. Hello. Let's see. Biden care, yay, tweets. We can't be unified with the hope of Biden if we allow people who disagree with him to survive.
Right? That's what they're saying. The Trump Accountability Project.
That's right, comrade.
Oh, my goodness.
From Joe W. So, when do we start talking about impeachment of Biden? Wouldn't want to miss out on reciprocating to the left. Yeah, that should start, I don't know, January 20th at about 6 o'clock at night.
Now, you might actually get bipartisan effort on that because you'd get the GOP on one side and Kamala Harris on the other.
Yeah.
Should be all about that.
Kidding. The left has Kamala right in their pocket. I mean, Kamala, she is the most progressive / liberal senator in the Senate. The most. She was number one over Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. So that should tell you something.
Boy.
That tells you who's waiting in the wings and how dangerous she can be. I mean, I guess everybody's celebrating her right now on social media because it's the greatest thing ever that a black woman was elected for the first time ever. I mean, that's fine. That's great. Just like the first black president would have been fine, would have been great. If it weren't for his Marxism.
Right.
And if it weren't for her Marxism.
My goodness. What do you want, the perfect candidate, Pat?
Nah, just a little less, I don't know, Marxist would be nice for me.
A little less
picky
Marxism
on that. Yeah.
On the ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who's got to be hating all of the praise for Kamala over the weekend and everything? Has got to be Hillary Clinton. Yep.
Hillary.
She's got to be just stewing.
She believed it was her birthright. And she's basically, she had said that. She said it last week or the week before. And she was born to do this. She didn't say birthright specifically, but that's what it means, right? If I was born to do this, that's your birthright. And now she's not going to be the first woman president. Probably Kamala Harris will be. And she might be within a very short amount of time. We'll see. A sniff of knowing.
The knowing sniff. Yeah. Now, don't forget, though, court cases. Lots of court cases.
Lots of court cases. That's right.
The country.
Let's not count our chickens before they hatch.
I hear you.
Now I've turned around. Yeah, we need to fight. Do I expect it to be a successful? No, but we got to do it anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got to do it.
I mean, what's the point of ever having an election again if you're not going to fight the results of this one if you think that there is illegalities going on?
Need to talk a little bit more about this Trump accountability project. Very fascinating.
the gulag for Trump supporters. Yes.
In that kind of way, in the Italy fascism, Germany Nazism sort of way. Very, very fascinating stuff. Tell you about it. Coming up here on Pat Gray Unleashed. Welcome. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. It should have been an unequivocally great weekend when it started off with BYU beating Boise State 51-17. 51-17!
That's a statement win right there.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. And then, was it that night or the next morning?
No, then you were Friday night for your game, right?
Yeah, it's Friday night for my game.
Saturday around noon Easternish.
And I think NBC was the first to call the thing, and then everybody fell in line. And then it was like, okay, now it's been a tad tainted. Mm-hmm. Everything's been tainted.
Are you talking about the announcement that I have been named Emperor-elect of the planet Pluto?
Yes, that really hurt me because I was going for the same position.
Sorry.
Then all of a sudden you declared.
Well, we still have the court battles if you want to challenge me.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's right. I think, what was it?
And I still have to go after every single one of your supporters. All of them.
Oh, yeah.
Bastards.
And burn down the whole party and everything.
Yeah, the whole stinking thing.
What was it Todd Starnes said?
All the Keithites.
Yeah, Keithites. Oh, I like that. Yeah, Todd Starnes said that your local cable access channel can declare Baby Yoda is president-elect, and that doesn't make it so.
Oh, it doesn't?
Although I would like that. I'm actually...
you got a little Baby Yoda doll.
I mean, we can't go wrong with Baby Yoda as president, although I've got some questions to discuss with you about episode 2 of season 2 of Mandalorian.
Did you watch it now?
Obviously we're caught up.
Okay,
yeah.
I was not impressed with episode 2.
First of all...
episode 2 sucked.
Okay, first of all, the spiders, I don't need that in my life. I don't need that in my life.
Spoiler alert, there's spiders in this. Alert. Spoiler may contain spoilers for the thing.
And I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen that, so I will not ruin the episode 2 of Mandalorian. I will.
But now you know there's spiders.
Now you know there's spiders, and Baby Yoda likes to eat something in particular, and I thought it was going to have a cute little payoff at the end. It does not.
It didn't.
Oh, sorry. That actually ruins it. Sorry.
No, it might have a payoff at the end. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe next week. Next week. Ish. So anyway, sorry about that. So anyway. I should not have.
But I still like it. I still like this.
Yeah, the show's great. Episode 1 was great.
Yeah, episode 1 I liked a lot.
Episode 2...
This I don't like at all. We're introducing a new weapon of the unhinged left. It's called the Trump Accountability Project. Those who took a paycheck from the Trump administration should not profit from their efforts to tear our democracy apart. We're not a democracy! The world should never forget those who, when faced with a decision, chose to put their money, their time, and their reputations behind separating children from their families, which, of course, the Obama-Biden administration did first.
You guys just voted for the guy who made that possible. Congrats.
Encouraging racism, which he's not doing, and anti-Semitism. The guy is the best friend the Jews have ever had. Other than Jesus. He was a pretty good friend of the Jews.
Right. So, but you're talking about...
still is.
You're talking about just...
an earthly friend.
In a political sense.
In a political sense, there's nobody better. The only one that even is in the same ballpark is Harry Truman because he helped bring about Israel.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, separating families, encouraging racism and anti-Semitism, and negligently causing the unnecessary loss of life and economic devastation from COVID-19, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You don't have any idea how many people would have lived or died had it not been for Donald Trump.
They're starting their...
I will tell you this. It wouldn't have been zero no matter who. Are you telling me that if Biden had been in office then, nobody dies? Nobody. Okay.
Well, we wouldn't have heard about it. It would have been so down the list, kind of like that swine flu thing back when he was vice president, it wouldn't even been a thing.
And who's to say it wouldn't have been the 2.2 million predicted by the modeling they were using in the beginning? Remember that? Could be up to 2.2 million deaths. Well, it's nothing like that. It's 1/10 of that. But these people are they're not just unhinged. They're evil.
Yeah. Baby Yoda has been named president-elect, correct?
Yes.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. We'll just say yes.
Okay.
I'm sure somebody's done it.
Somebody's going to take you to court, sir.
And if I could, isn't it time to let's stop with the mystery? Let's get this kid delivered to wherever.
Okay.
The whole stinking series is based on this kid getting back home, I guess.
What do you have to say to that, Baby Yoda? Yeah, have you noticed his voice is getting deeper?
Is it?
Yeah.
No, he's getting older.
Yeah, it used to be, now it's...
He also can waddle around a lot and get out on his own.
Now that's adorable, like when he does that.
Yeah.
Especially in the snow. Spoiler alert.
Oh, there's snow in this episode too.
Spoiler alert.
So now you know there's snow and there are spiders. So there you go.
And he eats stuff.
And
that's gross.
What happened to Anderson Cooper? I used to have some respect for him.
Did you now?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he came up here once, right?
Yeah.
He was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually been a friend of Glenn's, and I mean, they were kind of, they were not necessarily enemies.
Right, but they were cordial.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, cordial,
He was one of those people on the left that you thought was decent and you could have a conversation
honest.
with. Yeah.
He just disagreed with a lot of the stuff.
Yeah. But boy, he was gleeful Thursday night on CNN.
Here he is.
The president did not have any evidence presented at all. Nothing. No real, actual evidence of any kind of fraud. He talked about people putting up papers in windows. He talked about things that he'd seen on the internet. That is the president of the United States. That is the most powerful person in the world. And we see him like an obese turtle on his back, flailing in the hot sun, realizing his time is over.
Wow.
But he just hasn't accepted it, and he wants to take everybody down with him, including this country.
Okay, so he's also had to call him fat there as well.
Right.
He had to call him obese.
Name calling.
In addition to being turtle-like and flailing around. And he doesn't know what the president has for evidence. He's not going to let everything out of the bag before they take it to court. So it's just, it shows how one-sided and how biased CNN is.
I mean, that's, boy.
Even Anderson Cooper. Well, and Jake Tapper, for that matter.
Yeah.
They're all pretty crappy.
Mm-hmm.
It's frustrating, isn't
it? An obese turtle. Laying on his back in the hot sun, flailing around.
I have a feeling when all these people get their tax increase and their current insurance that they like is taken away from them because they have to now go with Biden or Harris Care.
Harris Care.
They're going to be sorry. They're going to rue the day that this man got into office.
Who got into office? Joe Biden?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe not.
No, I heard on good authority that Baby Yoda is the president-elect of the United States. So I don't know what you're talking about. Baby Yoda
Who
care.
was it that declared it?
Todd Starnes. I mean, he's a voice in the media. He's got a blue check mark, so it must mean something.
Yeah. Well, I got a blue check mark. Can I go ahead and declare somebody a winner?
I mean, you are constantly declaring stuff on Twitter, so have at it.
I declared Donald J. Trump as the winner of this election. Well, so let it be written.
There it is.
So let it be done.
Should you tweet that out?
I probably should. Yeah. Make sure I mention. I have the blue check mark, so I carry authority. All right. NBC News doesn't have anything on me. CNN doesn't have. We both have blue check. We all have blue check marks. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I'm still waiting for the Blaze to retweet my tweet.
Which was
that I am the emperor-elect of the planet Pluto.
They have not retweeted that yet? That's
if I could get that, it would be official. Maybe you will.
Maybe I can. Perhaps. Yeah. Oh, by the way, some really sad news over the weekend, other than what we've been talking about with the election. Alex Trebek passed away.
Hi. Boy, you talking about a gut punch, man.
Yeah, it's sad.
That was, I knew he was still battling. And
yeah, but I thought he was kind of ahead of the game.
Me too.
And apparently not. Apparently.
Me too. Corby running the board here tells me that, October 29th, you said? He recorded his last episode? Like just a week or so ago? And it's going to air on Christmas Day.
Wow. He must have taken a turn for the worse quickly. Yeah. Jeez. So anyway, 80 years old. I don't know who they'll be able to replace him with because he seems kind of irreplaceable.
Yeah.
They replaced Bob Barker, and now nobody seems to mind that it's...
oh, really?
Or do they?
Sure.
Do they mind?
Drew Carey or whatever?
Yeah, Drew Carey. I don't watch it, but...
Honestly,
I haven't watched it since I was a kid.
Let's put it this way. When you're in like a doctor's office or something and it's on, are you paying attention to what Drew Carey's saying?
No.
No, but if it was Bob Barker, I'd be like, give me the spayed and neutered message. Let's do this. Yes, there it is.
You can almost make me convert to PETA. It's what? Who said that?
Terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah. So Rob is not a big fan of the Drew Carey Price is Right era.
Oh, okay. It's absolutely terrible, is it? Oh, that's
not good.
That's not good. No. But, I mean, how would you like to fill those shoes? Alex Trebek's shoes, when people are so used to him and he's been doing it for, 40 years? Yeah. It's got to be close to that. 888-900-3393. Also, at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. You know what? Let's just throw caution to the wind. Forget about politics for a few minutes.
Oh.
Give you some more terrible news.
Wait, what?
This is gonna rock your world.
Okay.
Fans are gonna have to wait a little bit longer for another Legally Blonde movie.
Why are you doing this, man? Why are you doing this? We're already in deep, dark depression mode.
I'm trying to prepare you for the really tough news that's coming your way. It was supposed to come out next year. It's been pushed back to 2022. May of 2022.
I mean, can this year get any worse?
It can't. Well, yes, it can.
Oh,
yes.
Wait, yeah, that's right.
Yes, it can.
Careful.
And apparently it did over the weekend, and it can get worse still. So, Legally Blonde 3.
Wow.
We've got to wait another year and a half for it to hit theaters.
I got a year and a half to see Legally Blonde 2 and...
one.
Legally Blonde.
And then 2.
Well, I don't even know if I've seen 1.
Because of the complexities of this series.
Yeah, I know, right?
You must watch 1 and 2 before you attempt to watch 3.
Wait a minute. Is that Alicia Silverstone? Legally Blonde?
No, it's...
No?
No.
Okay, so what's the one... Reese Witherspoon. Okay, I don't think I've seen it. I think I've seen the... what's the one with Silverstone? What's that one? Clueless. Okay, as am I.
That was
that's
what?
Okay. I've seen that one. Yeah, that's the one I saw. I haven't seen this one.
Okay.
Man, so it's a trilogy, and I've got only 18 months to watch the first 2.
Yeah, you better get cracking. You better get started.
I will.
Because you'll want to turn it off after the first minute and a half. First 90 seconds are like, no, I can't watch this.
Really?
Yeah. And then you just push yourself, though. You got to push through it.
Really?
Push through it.
It's good? So you recommend it?
And I wouldn't say that because I don't want to show any kind of bias.
The first 90 seconds of a movie that is so great is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. That's the funniest opening sequence of a movie ever.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Have you ever seen the movie?
Yes, I think so.
Really?
But not for a long time.
Oh, okay. I could hook you if you would watch that opening scene again.
Really?
Yeah. Remember, he's the package delivery guy. And he's just walking down the road, kicking the box around, tossing it in the air. He doesn't even care. And you had to be there. It's funny. It's really good.
Jim Carrey, I see in a whole new light.
I know. Gosh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, celebrities that have ruined memories.
Yeah, big time.
By just talking.
Big time. Alyssa Milano, Jim Carrey. Million of them. There's a million. Almost all of them.
Yeah, I remember you were huge into the Dixie Chicks, and then they pulled their crap.
Oh, man.
Right?
Loved them.
I remember your office in Houston at the time when we worked together, and you had posters everywhere, Dixie Chicks. You had all of their CDs on the shelf there.
Yeah.
You had autographs from them with personalized messages, and then they spoke out against America and Bush and war and
on
stuff.
foreign soil.
Foreign soil. And then you're like, oh, crap.
That hurt to have to boycott them.
Sure did.
Which, by the way, we worked for Clear Channel at the time, and the thing was, Clear Channel boycotted boycotted the Dixie Chicks just because he said that. No, Clear Channel never boycotted the Dixie Chicks. In fact, they were played on our Clear Channel country station with us in the building still. They played them incessantly.
Go and look at how many spins they got. They weren't affected at all.
No, they weren't. So ridiculous.
But that hurt you.
But that hurt me.
That hurts you when your favorite celebrities
yeah, that was a tough one.
do that.
Because, man, are the Dixie Chicks ever good? Of course, they're not the Dixie Chicks anymore, right?
Yeah.
Aren't they just the Chicks, which is also gender normative,
right?
And should not be a name for anybody. Wow. I mean, I don't even know what to say about the Dixie Chicks or the Chicks or the people who do country music that are female, and there's a trio.
I could probably come up with a name based off their original one, but I won't.
Okay. It's probably a good idea.
There's only so many directions you can go with that.
Right. Also, Japan sent mice to space and discovered a protein that could slow down aging.
Oh, this is exciting. Wow.
They sent 12 mice into space. Now that they're back on Earth, scientists said they've discovered what could be the key to slowing down the aging process for humans. How great would that be? Did you know there was a Japanese aerospace exploration agency, JAXA? I never heard of JAXA.
It's actually my startup page.
Oh, okay.
See what they're up to over at
JAXA.
JAXA.
It was They conducted this study with the Tohoku University and sent the 12 mice to the International Space Station. The experiment aimed to test the effects of the protein NRF2. Man, they know how to name things, don't they? In the space agencies, they are catchy.
That's what I don't get. I understand that they just have to come up with names, in sequential order or whatever. But once it becomes popular, once that thing that you're experimenting on, starts to make news and progress,
give it a real name.
Give it a name before the press release goes out, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Thanks.
NRF2 induction is known to prevent various diseases, including cancer and diabetic complications. Half of the mice sent to space were genetically engineered to not have NRF2. Oh, that was mean to do that to them.
Leave them out there hanging.
Wow. While the remaining 6 were unmodified and still had NRF2. They were transported by the SpaceX Falcon rocket, spent 31 days in space, and so now we've discovered this new wonderful protein. Fantastic.
So do they bring these mice back, or they just leave them out there like Captain Tom? And
No, they brought them back.
Okay.
They brought them back. Some other cool space news is that we discovered that where they traced back one of those frequent radio bursts that we've talked about a few times.
Yeah?
They don't know where these things come from. They're just like radio bursts, and they're very quick, and they're very powerful. And so they weren't sure if it was aliens trying to communicate with us or what is it. Well, in 1,000th of a second on April 28th, a powerful burst of radio waves washed over Earth, lighting up radio telescopes in North America. Now astronomers track down the source of this strange signal, and the results could reveal the long sought-after cause of these mysterious cosmic signals. In 3 studies published by the journal Nature, an international group of scientists identified the blast as a fast radio burst, extremely intense flash of radio waves that last no more than a few milliseconds.
Milliseconds, huh?
Goes by pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, that's pretty quick.
Telescopes have picked up such bursts before, but always from outside our galaxy. This one came from inside our galaxy.
Uh-oh, so they're close.
Yeah.
I mean, it's close.
It's like next door. These are our next door neighbor radio bursts. Researchers have wondered for years what could cause them. Speculation ranged from exploding stars to alien technologies.
Yeah, come on.
Now we know at least one source is likely an exotic stellar object called a magnetar. A type of young neutron star.
And aliens.
Left over after a large star explodes and that has an extremely powerful magnetic field. That's kind of disappointing, isn't
With
it?
aliens.
Yeah, no,
you're going to page 2. I know you skipped the line about the aliens.
I'm looking for the alien tie-in, but there isn't one.
Yeah, so that burst, what was it, one billionth of a second or whatever?
Something like that.
Okay, it's nothing like a zeptosecond, which they just discovered a couple weeks ago. That is now the shortest interval of time, a zeptosecond. It's a trillionth of a billionth of a second.
A trillionth of a billionth?
or a decimal point followed by 20 zeros into 1. Wait a minute.
My gosh.
Is that the number that Joe Biden said in his speech this weekend? Is that the number? The
yes, it's the
trillionth
same
of a
number.
billionth of a second?
And I hope it can provide some comfort and solace the 230,000 Americans.
Yeah, there it is.
Who've lost a loved one to this terrible virus.
Go back. I got to hear that one more time. I have to hear that again. That is.
And I hope it can provide some comfort and solace.
Okay.
The 230,000 Americans.
230 million thousand.
This terrible virus.
Yeah, they gave him the meds too early Saturday night.
200 million thousand. 110. Wow.
Put your mask on. I don't want to hear you speak, man.
All right, let me tell you about we got to welcome a brand new sponsor to the show, Glint Pay. This is a concept you'll say, like I have been doing, why didn't somebody think of this before? This is really cool. Glint has made gold a real alternative currency, the ultimate money. For the first time, I have access to independent, reliable money with gold, which, unlike cash right now, actually holds its purchasing power over time. And so what you can do is go to glintpay.com, check this out, get all the details for yourself. But you can buy gold, and then they will send you a MasterCard.
Oh, nice. So you don't have to, carry around bars of gold?
Right. No, you do not. In fact, the actual gold itself is stored in a vault in Switzerland for you. So it's a Swiss account. They've got all the gold stored there, completely secure, and this protects you against inflation and monetary collapse and the dollar going down. Instead, your purchasing power is based in gold. How great is that?
That is super, man.
It's as if you have reinstalled the gold standard for yourself. Now, you could buy gold and you can just save it with GlintPay, or you can buy and watch it accrue over time, or you can buy and you can spend it with this MasterCard. Really, really amazing. Really fun, too, when you're in a restaurant and you give them the Glint card and you tell them, yeah, I just paid for this meal in gold.
Yes!
Deal with it. Yes. I just paid for this meal in gold.
In gold.
It is super safe, it is super simple, and it is super reliable. And incredibly super reasonable fees. Real gold, real money, real easy. Go to glintpay.com. Read up all about it and do this now. glintpay.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Okay, 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed
You
on
excited
Twitter.
This week ahead and what's going to happen with the court cases and
I can't
challenges and the Republic.
I just hope it happens fast. Let's get it done quickly, okay? Because before he starts really trying to cement this thing, and it's going to be too late and everybody just moves on, let's make it happen fast.
Oh, the left has already moved on. December 14th
for sure they have.
Is the next key date. That is the day the Electoral College votes. And states have to certify their results between now and then. So
there was some rumor going around. I don't know. I doubt there's any truth to it, but I think it's wishful thinking on the left. They were saying that Trump is ready to just concede.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so
I do not think so.
I thought you were going to say the rumor was that Baby Yoda has been announced as the
new president of the United States?
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. That'd be better than the guy we have.
Well, you're talking about the Biden
who's president-elect, so yeah. All right, we'll see you tomorrow here on Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.